This is the side-by-side comparison of Asus Zenfone 8 versus Asus Zenfone 9. Somehow I managed to get those at the same place and the same time, so I can show you the subtle differences between those two devices. Size-wise, they're pretty much the same when it comes to width and height. Asus Zenfone 9 is slightly chunkier. You can expect that to feel that one in your pocket slightly more. When we look at the back side of the phones, we can see that the Zenfone 9 got a bigger lenses, bigger cameras, and apparently the photos from this one are better. I will try to attach those for comparison as well. What is interesting to note is that the back of the 9 version is kind of a silky, smoothie. It's not like typical plastic feeling, and it's really nice to hold on. So it's really sad that I'm wearing a bumper on that one. Compared to that one, version 8 comes just in typical your plastic cover side of thing. When it comes to the sides of the phones, there's a subtle difference. Obviously, both have the volume button up and down. Compared to that, the version 8 comes with a power button that has some amazing extra features that Asus claims, but frankly this is just a gesture button that can distinguish between press, double press and long press, I believe. Compared to that one, version 9 has the same capabilities, plus it has the fingerprint reader over here, so when I do this the phone will unlock, which is the best way of unlocking phone as far as I'm concerned. And also it has capabilities for touch gestures, so obviously the top long press, double press, but also swipe up type of gesture, which is in theory really nice for playing, pausing music, stuff like this. But I find it kind of annoying because as I'm kind of unlocking the phone or something, I tend to press that button quite a bit, so that gesture is not enabled for me. Coming back to the unlocking part, on Asus Zenfone 8 you will get a fingerprint reader in the screen. I find it very imprecise once I installed the protective glass, so that makes it really not precise. Compare that to the one on the side here, which is always available even if you have your protective bumper on or something like that, because there's usually a hole in the bumper. The main reason why I upgraded from Asus Zenfone 8 to Asus Zenfone 9 is actually the battery life. Zenfone 8 is a perfect phone, really good camera, according to what I've seen on my past phones. Quite compact, fits in the pocket when you're a runner or something. Very good performance all around, really good phone, but the battery life is absolutely terrible. You are quite lucky if out of the box you will get a day worth of battery. And I'm not really playing with the phone all day long, I'm not really playing games. Still, this little fella dies pretty quickly. Compared to that, Asus Zenfone 9, pretty much the same phone. The photos I think are pretty the same, the size is pretty the same, hardware specs pretty the same as far as I'm concerned, but the battery life is far better. I can easily get all day long, and if I don't have option to charge the phone in the evening, I will wake up the next morning and still have 30, 40, maybe even 50% of a battery left. So if I'm going to go for a hike or something where I really need that extra bit of battery, I think for 2 days with a reasonable usage of the phone, I can get away for a weekend without the charger at all, which is amazing. Now let's try to compare the quality of the cameras. Standard lens. Let's zoom in to see how in a well-lit scene the details look like. I think they look pretty comparable, pretty decent in both cases. And now again the same lens with poorly lit scene and very close up. So Asus Zenfone 8, the details here, and Asus Zenfone 9. I would say that the details here are much better, and you can see the lines, and the contrast is in general slightly better, but overall they are pretty much on par. So here you have it, the quick comparison between Asus Zenfone 8 and Asus Zenfone 9. The comparison between the software and the hardware specs, you can easily Google it. I don't think that's really important. Overall, I think the upgrade from 8 to 9 is very much worth it for me, because the battery life is just absolutely perfect for the type of the phone. And if anyone decides to go between those two, obviously the newer, better type of thing applies. But if you want your phone to be reliable, meaning that it won't die on the battery during your work adventure day, then definitely look into investing a little bit more and go for the 9 version.